Hey everyone, Gardner here. How the F are you? Conscious Conversation coming at you on this last Monday in October, in the amazing month that is October, where leaves and colors and people and everything change. Love it. Love the beauty that is this month. Beautiful storm here in Vancouver last night. Today, with the waves crashing outside my window, it's flipping awesome. Today's conversation, for those of you that tune in, this is just a stream of conscious thought that I want to share as it relates to me and the struggle that I'm going through and the continual journey of understanding that I'm on. And that is darkness. That is the truth of all of us to show up authentically. Hear me out. Hear me out, and then feel free to tell me I'm a couple cans short of a six-pack. I am blessed to be among a lot of colleagues and peers and work with clients. We lead with love. It's what we do. You hear this a lot, right? We're children of the light, and we are energy, high frequency, vibration, high vibe tribe, and all of that, which we are, which I am. I'll speak for myself. And the one thing that I will unequivocally hold to fast in all of my years on this planet is I have not yet met a human freaking being that does not have some sort of darkness, closet full of baggage, things that they keep to themselves because they are worried about the narrative that will be created outside of themselves about them. Okay? Not one. Likewise, again, I'm surrounded by amazing people who I look up to, who inspire me. And I challenge myself because I feel that people still in this line of work, in my line of work, are not showing up authentically as a brand to really honor that duality of man, that duality of woman, whatever it is for each of us. I know it's there. I fucking know it. Someone has to convince me otherwise pretty damn hard to say that if I'm a light worker, if I'm a beacon of light, that's how I rock and roll in this life. Yeah, they have challenges, and they'll share their journeys, and they'll share their reality moments of some dark in their life, but they don't, they're cautious not to champion the dark. That's where I'm going. That's okay. So that's my thought. What's wrong with championing the dark as much as we champion the light? For me, the dark, of course, has given birth to the light. So I look at it connected. I feel like there can be no light without dark, and vice versa. But even in terms of the richness of who I am as a human being, as an inner child, as a conscious warrior, as a lover of music and a seeker for romance in every little micro minute of every moment between the moments of each day, there's a woven threads of darkness, whether it's, and hear me out for a second. And this is what I struggle with, just for me. with the work that I do, I question whether or not I should post something because, well, in the tangled web of who James Gardner is, I listen to dark music from time to time. I listen to dark lyrics. I listen to, for as much as I come across as a a straight laced prep vanilla boy pseudo rocker, whatever the hell it is, I'm just as much a goth and metal junkie, just as much. But I never really showed that side. Or I want to go dance and howl at the moon and play my bongos naked under an October harvest moon. But I never share those things. So I guess my question is, I'm not, for the guy that talks about waving the truth flag every flipping day that I'm on here, I'm still not living my truth freely because I'm worried. I have censorship over my own shit, and I'm worried that the powers that be, that people out there will look at that as whatever they look at it, opposing energies, whatever. I've talked before about the two trains of thought in the coaching realm, which is only shine the bright stuff and come across the polished diamond that you are. Never let them see the lump of coal. And then you have equally, you have share your baggage, talk about you're having a bad day. Yeah, absolutely. And sharing that so that we're all in the same universal playing field, which is where I fall. And then I think there's also something else. It's like there's a whole nother evolution to that, right? To understanding what is our brand, each of us, right? What is how we show up. So just reading some comments here. Are you relating the aspects of yourself that likes dancing to a dark side somehow? It's a great question, Jill. Jill's question is, are you relating the aspects of yourself that likes goth and naked mood dancing to a dark side somehow? Well, it's interesting. I'm relating it to a dark side in terms of how I open this, which is what the context, the majority of the context out there would necessarily perceive that as, especially with being someone who leads with love as a beacon of light. It can be a scratch your head kind of diversion, possibly. For me, I think, as I said, this is more of a conversation, me just having these thoughts as they're landing, but it is a struggle for mine. And part of me is also coming to terms with the journey that I've been on, which is championing that, right? So again, me being even more truthful to aspects of who I am and how I show up in the work that I do. I think a lot of us do consider darkness to be a positive thing, or it doesn't have the negative connotation that it has for many. I guess where I'm going with this conversation today is I honestly feel that a lot of people out there still are not showing up authentically as they could, myself included. I'll wave the flag on that. And so maybe that's my intuitive voice, when I have my spidey senses tingling, when I'm tuning in on people's lives, and I'm following colleagues, and I'm engaging in conversation. When something lands for me that just seems something's just not right. Or perhaps as the coach in me, I have clients that are just the right amount of this ingredient, but that that X factor, that secret sauce could in fact be that sprinkle in of something that most people would not put in there, because it's going to offset the taste. But yet it's that person's flavor. It makes that person that much more unique. And ultimately, as I've always said, if each of us walk with our truth, ultimately with our truth, no matter if it's someone that lives in the shadows 99% of the time, and if it's their truth, who are we to say that's not light for them? Yeah. I love your transparency. As coaches, we need to be relatable. Without darkness, our light couldn't show us the path out. True. True. um, I think that's firmly established. That without it, there is no light. The two have to coexist together around us. What I've talked middle lane before. I think for me, and this conversation has spurred this to think of it as it's just a beautiful hue of gray, right? Some days maybe it's a different shade than others. Some days it's a more pleasant shade of gray than other days. And that doesn't mean that my gray is not rainbows and flipping unicorns, because it is today. It is 50 shades. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, well, could be. Could be. Case in point, there's a whole other realm that, most people won't even have an open discussion about. Right? But if it's true to someone, why does it have to be hidden away in conversation? Right? Or hidden behind 3 drinks before it even comes to the light of conversation? Just an example. Anyway. I feel like here, hold on. I feel like you can show up. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments, gang. Still hold parts of your life sacred to be shared only with those that can hold it with that level of reverence. At what point does sharing it all become performative? Yes, is the question that arises. It's a great point, Jill. It's a great point and a great distinction for me to clarify. Is I'm not saying that we all have to get on here, even coaches, and air our baggage. Hell to the F, no. No, there are things that deserve to be sacred, 110%. Yeah, there are things that I will hold to the sovereign right of my being and my sacredness of self-love, that I will hold to me and to anyone that I choose to share that to. And I think there's also another peripheral layer, Jill, that is what I'm talking about, that I still think is being, that may not be, again, it's an individual journey, may not be as may not be sacred, may just be, well, I'm not going to showcase that for the fear of X, or I do this type of work in the world, I can't showcase this. So thank you for offering that. It's a really great point, and I think there is a distinction there. So anywho, so there's my thoughts on a thoughts of a mad scientist on a rambling Monday in between clients. And it's been, I think October has really brought this to the forefront for me this time of year. The switch of the seasons, the darkness around the myth of this time of year and everything. So I think it's and obviously with a lot of people that I follow and things that I'm in lining with at the moment, made me have this conversation and made me just made me want to share this so that at the end of the day, so that I can show up even more authentic than I did yesterday and that I did today. So thank you all for tuning in. I super appreciate the engagement, the conversation, and the challenge. So mad love to the courageous always. And I hope this last part of October finds you at peace. All right. Cheers.